Hi there. For this video, we will be covering how to load your dataset in Python environment, and we will understand our data and we will understand what we are going to do in our model. So this is the heading I created Professor Ahmed dataset. And if you are using Jupyter Notebook, for this you just have to select this tab, like I have selected this line of code. This is the option to change the type. Currently it is code. If I change it to heading, I will be able to produce such heading. So it's not part of code basically, it's just the heading that what is this. The very first line of code, import pandas as PD. We are importing pandas because we have to deal with the datasets, and pandas is a Python library that is used to deal with the datasets. That it makes thing very easy. PD and as PD means we want to call pandas as PD in the later code so that we don't have to write pandas, pandas, pandas again and again and again. So we can just write PD like this. Now in this line of code, we are using dot read Excel method of pandas. What it do? It will read the Excel file. If we are having CSV file, then we will change this Excel to CSV, and then we will be able to read the CSV file, comma separated file. But for this case, we are having the Excel file, so this is the format pd.read Excel, and within these we gave our path to the dataset within the strings. So this is path for my dataset, that is like in the local disk D, and the file, the Excel file, that is named Professor Ahmed class, and then dot XLSX is the format of Excel files. If you are dealing with any Excel file, you will have to use this format. If dealing with CSV file, we will use .csv. For Excel file, .xlsx. After running this code, I will just run this code. Okay, this is good. Now this data, this path is stored in the variable data. This variable you can change it with any name you want to, like df, data frame or something like that, but I have created data. To check the data, we can just write data and then run the code, and it is giving me this data set. Now it is the same dataset that we loaded. I will show you. This is the dataset that we just loaded in our Python environment, Professor Ahmed class.xlsx. There we have four columns, and in our Python environment, there are four columns. Like you see, this is first column, second column, third column, and fourth column. And this is the default index. This is the index. This is not a column. It is index number 0, 1, 2, 3, and it is by default. And it is good for us. We can call the data points in a easy way, like index number this or index number that. The idea here is that it is the same data set that is shown here. You can look at the first row, 3, 72, 7.2, and 75%. Here note that 75% and 72%, these are values with the sign of percentages. Now what Python will do, it will automatically divide these two values with 100, and these will not look same as here. 72 will look like 0.72 and 75 will look like 0.7575. This is the default behavior of Python. I will show you that here 03 we saw that, and 72% is 0.72, then 7.2, then 75% is marked as 0.75. This is the default behavior of Python. Now, one thing to note, Printing the data gives me the whole data set. Now, there is possibility that I am working with a large data, and in that case, it is not convenient and a good like suggestion to view the whole data. We can just have idea with the dot head method. What it will do, it will show me the first five rows of our data, first five data points, and I can pass any number of argument here. Like if I specify 7, it will show me the 7 data points. If I like 1, it will show me the very first data point. But default, if I don't pass any argument, it will give me first 5 elements. Now, to understand what our model will do and what we have discussed in the previous lectures is what these study hours, marks in previous grade, class performance. These three columns are features. We will train model that will predict on these three columns on the basis of these three columns. And the last column, marks scored, and logically it is annual marks scored. These are the labels. What I am trying to say is we will make a model that will read this number, that will read this number and this number, and then it will predict this number. Like it will read study hours, marks in previous grade, class performance, and it will predict how many marks he will score in like annual exams. And this is the data we will train. So we have annual marks and we have features, everything we have. We will train our model and then it will be able to predict on unseen data. This is what we are going to do in the next lectures.